I also hope that it doesn't get caught up in politics at a time when women need access to health care. Like everyone, I find that news out of Illinois extremely disturbing, and I think it's important that that be fully investigated. I also hope that it doesn't get caught up in politics at a time when women need access to health care. But there's no question that what happened is disturbing, it's unacceptable.
Now, right now, they hold everybody in line with this one kind of piece of doctrine about abortion, right? Which is obviously a tough issue for a lot of people to think through morally.
But at the same time, as we see some of these figures on the religious right embrace behavior and I think policies, but definitely behavior.
Then again, there's a lot of parts of the Bible that talk about how life begins with breath. And so even that is something that we can interpret differently.
That flies in the face, not just of my values, but of their own.
All right, I might draw the line here, you might draw the line there, but the most important thing is the person who should be drawing the line is the woman making the decision.
Then it reminds me of all of the parts of Scripture where there's a lot about hypocrisy.
You said something rather strong about the president, that you said it's hard to look at his actions and believe that they are the actions of somebody who believes in God. How do you square that assessment with the fact that the evangelical Christian community is so devoted to his candidacy?
Well, it's something that really frustrates me because the hypocrisy is unbelievable. We are obliged to serve the poor and heal the sick and clothe the naked and welcome the stranger. Stranger, by the way, being another word for immigrant. And that what we're seeing right now in the White House is the opposite. But in my view, this is a question that is almost unknowable. This is a moral question. It's not going to be settled by science. And
when I came out in 2015, it was for the simple reason that I was finally ready. I had been wrestling with my sexuality for years. And if I had not deployed to Afghanistan, I might never have found the courage to come out. So I knew when I did come home safely in 2014 that it was just going to be a matter of time. Inconveniently, that time came in the middle of my re-election campaign. It came while Mike Pence was governor of Indiana. My marriage to Chasten has made me a better man. And yes, Mr. Vice President, it has moved me closer to God. And that's the thing I wish the Mike Pences of the world would understand. That if you got a problem with who I am, your problem is not with me. Your quarrel, sir, is with my Creator.
let's talk in language that is understood across the heartland about faith. You know, if you believe that God is watching as poison is being belched into the air of creation, and people are being harmed by it, countries are at risk of vanishing in low-lying areas, what do you suppose God thinks of that? I bet he thinks it's messed up. For a party that associates itself with Christianity, to say that it is okay to suggest that God would smile on the division of families at the hands of federal agents, that God would condone putting children in cages, has lost all claim to ever use religious language again.
Vice President...